Hello, everybody. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? Boy, we got a lot of news breaking, don't we? And we're going to do the live stream about it. Israel attacking Iran. Okay? The world is officially, probably by tomorrow morning, going to be completely at war. So we're going to discuss that. Anyway, crazy times. You know, the video I made last night, the live stream I did last night about the world and the country collapsing. Day later, look at it. Anyway, but I'll wait for a few people to show up in the chat, so I'll talk about some good things today. Boy, the weather's been beautiful. I got home, take a couple days off. I came home and stuff. And I tell you what, my lawn only had 8 days of growth. It was 6-inch. I mean, it was long. I mean, we've been getting a lot of moisture, but my lawn's really filling out. Considering my lawn was nothing but 4-foot tall weeds just a couple months ago, and I got green grass growing everywhere. I feel pretty happy about that. But most men, we get a lawnmower, we get lawn tools and stuff. And we get older, we just have different toys. Toys that are, I guess, more constructive. But, oh yeah, my grass was tall. Things are going good with my lawn. So, but anyway, that's one thing that's going good. But we're all going to see what happens. I live next to the nuclear missile silos. My lawn could turn into crispy critter real quick. Anyway, but let's hope it doesn't get that far. But crazy times in the world. Yep, just watching YouTube, and I saw the news break about Israel attacking Iran. World is collapsing, but we all knew this was coming. I mean, there hasn't been like there's been major warnings on a lot of channels that had secret information about what was going on and stuff, but I'm actually surprised when they cleared the embassies, they weren't clearing everybody out, but that would have been a definite signal. But yeah, I think the war is on. Iran sending cruise missiles and all this stuff, and trying to take out the Iranian leadership. I mean, this is a full-scale war. Tomorrow morning, you need to go fill your gas tank. Because what's today, Thursday? By Sunday or Monday, gas might double in price. I mean, we're all going to find out real quick how crazy the world can get because of this. But, this has been in the making. Remember when Netanyahu came in front of Congress? Oh, this was so many years ago, and he had his little board up there with that bomb and the fuse and how far Iran was close to getting a nuclear weapon, and that was years ago. But, this is I can't believe this is actually happening. I didn't think the world leaders today actually had it in them to really start World War III. But, we're going to have to see how Russia reacts to this, how China reacts to this. Lebanon's going to start going, Hezbollah is going to start unleashing on Israel now. There's going to be a lot of pain and a world of hurt that's going down. But anyway, it's going to be a bad time. This is the things. These are the things when people get so amped up and they're just waiting for. Now was embarrassing. Remember when Justin Timberlake ripped out Michael Jackson? Where do these people come from? We're talking about World War III, and they're trying to interrupt the chat. I mean, the intelligence level of some people on YouTube is not very high. Anyway, but these people will learn when the bombs are falling on their house and their cities. They'll understand, and they'll get out of their basement and they'll stop making these comments, because this is serious, people. This is something that's going to affect all of us. Okay? The big one is finally going down. that the U.S. is going to be involved in. And then you can say, well, they're not going to be able to bomb us, but they still have sleeper cells in here. And we just had I don't remember what Muslim imam, told that Muslims are supposed to get into this mostly peaceful protests in this country that are going on too. The world's was set to just blow up, start a big old fire, and this might have done it. You know, if their nuclear facilities are so deep they can't get at them. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see tomorrow what's all going to happen. I can't wait to get back and do some more research on this. You know, I just heard cruise missiles so far. You know, did they send the planes in? See, I don't think they're going to send planes into Iran because they'd lose a few planes. That'd be a little bit more tricky because you got to refuel and all that stuff. It's a lot of logistics to do that. But anyway, let's just hope this thing don't go nuclear anytime soon. But Israel ain't going to achieve their goals, and Israel's about to get pounded. They are going to get pounded by all sides. And if Iran does have a nuclear weapon, or they can make a nuclear weapon real quick, which I'm sure they can. I mean, they're friends with North Korea. They're friends with China. They're friends with Russia. You know, and, you know, I'm sure they have smart people that can research up and figure out how to make a nuclear weapon. But like I say, you better go fill up your gas tank. I mean, what happens if all of a sudden they bomb or do a missile attack on one of our carrier groups and sink an aircraft carrier? How's America going to handle that news? That we lost one or two aircraft carriers. I mean, this could get really nuts. America could really find out what war is like. I mean, start rationing and stuff. All this tough talk and going around the world and starting fights might end. People might start thinking differently. But don't worry, we're still going to have to spend a fortune on the Department of Defense. But anyway, crazy times. Crazy times, historical times. I just did my video last night about the country and the world collapsing. Just did it last night. Well, not like it hasn't been going on for a real long time. But, you know, now we're going to deal with something that is going to affect us. And, you know, something where if Russia wants to get more involved, or, you know, they always say the battle between Gog and Magog starts out with Russia against Israel, right? This could get crazy. This could get crazy. Anyway, but that's the big news of tonight. Now, I suppose Iran, they already have their attack plan. So they'll be bombing the shit out of Israel here real quick. But, you know, when you have explosions in Tehran trying to decapitate the government, okay, this ain't going to go good. But it's war, okay? And this is the thing. These people have been at war for how many thousands of years? And now they have nuclear weapons. Maybe they can actually end the war this time so their future generations of them can all start getting along. But yeah, you know, it's gonna get. Iran's not stupid. Remember, Iran brought down that one drone of ours. When was that? When Obama was in office? Or I think it was when Obama was in office, and they brought down that drone, that expensive drone we have. Okay, the Persians aren't stupid people. You know, just because their leaders may be a little messed up, the Persians aren't stupid people. And now they're going to get all the Iranians on the same page. My dad left town for work. I love my chat. Boy, I tell you what. YouTube sends every troll after me they possibly can. We have bombs bursting in Iran from Israel, and YouTube thinks it's a good thing now to shut me up because we shouldn't spread the truth. I mean, bombs are flying, so many countries, bombs are flying and blowing shit up. And the U.S. is behind a lot of it, financially supporting a lot of it. Because, the people are, I guess, well, I'm not for it, and a lot of people aren't for it, but we don't have them landing here yet, so we're safe, right? Americans live in this stupid bubble that the world's problems cannot ever affect us. Ever. That's why everybody was so shocked about 9/11. Oh my God, the terrorists got us? Well, no shit. Anyway, just another problem to add to all our other problems we got. And I guess since the war with Israel and Iran started, well, does that mean I got to get a second job so I can pay more taxes to pay for all this shit? God, I wish we just get out of there and leave and not get into it at all. But the U.S. just can't seem to do that. They're going to get into this and get involved and anything, full force. They've been wanting war with Iran since 1979. The war hawks have. I mean, remember when Trump was in office the first time and Iran shot down that unmanned drone and John Bolton was just pushing for bombing Iran? This is the type of pressure the president can get under. Where, it's not like we got American housewives and they're sitting talking to him in his ear and stuff. No, you got special interests. You got the military industrial complex. You got countries that are for it, countries that are against it. Just like the Epstein list, why don't they release it? Because Trump's getting so much pressure from all these leaders of other countries and princes from Saudi Arabia and all this other stuff saying, hey, don't release that. It's going to really screw a lot of countries up. But, okay. But, I was in Israel once. Back in 1987, I was there, spent my 20th birthday there, training with the Israeli commandos. And it was a different place back then. I always say the oldest person could have walked down the darkest alley in the middle of the night, not afraid of being mugged or nothing. And just like just like our country, Israel got hijacked. I mean, how come war is the only way to solve our problems now? If we can't get a country to totally submit to the way we want something, we got to go to war with them. I mean, frankly, I don't think every country, I don't think any country should have nuclear weapons. But who is another country to sit there and tell one country they can't have nuclear power and nuclear weapons? A nation's sovereignty, they can do what the hell they want. If they do something stupid with them, then the world holds them accountable. I don't understand why the U.S. has the right to go around and tell other countries what their policies and procedures should be. Or, you can't get as mighty as we are. We can't have you doing that. But nuclear weapons is a bad thing. And we got every military that has nuclear weapons has a lot of them. And, I just feel that one day they're going to be used, especially when we got the children of today that will be in charge of or whatever arsenal, whether it's nuclear or whatever massive destruction arsenal we have. They'll be in charge of that in 40 years. So look at that. 10-year-old these days, when they turn 50, they're going to be in charge of the nuclear weapons, okay? They need emotional discipline. But, tomorrow the news should be interesting. Can't wait to see what gas goes up to by Monday. Gas stations shutting down or whatever. We're a self-sufficient country. If we would sit there and use our resources for us, I got a bug right there. Resources for us and become a self-sufficient nation and all these other stuff that's going on, we could stay out of it. We'd be just fine. Cool, you tricked the algorithm. Yeah, I'm trying to. When I got to sit there and match brains and try to trick a computer program, I don't even know where to go with that, okay? That's too much computer control. But, a computer determines my freedom of speech. The computer sets community guidelines. Whatever. This is just a strange world we live in. And then that attack that Ukraine did on Russia with AI controlling the drones and stuff. Talk about Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. All right? Got the gals there sticking her finger in there and programming all that stuff. I don't know. It's crazy times. I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was all hype again. But maybe it's coming out that it's more of an attack than it actually is. Just like that last attack they did on Iran, where they didn't even fly into the country, but they just released some missiles from their jets on the border of the country and shot them in and stuff. But, they weren't shooting at Tehran and stuff. Trying to decapitate the government, that's making it way personal, all right? These people are narcissists anyway. They won't let their own people judge them. So they definitely don't, they're not going to like that. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. What's all going to spread? Who's going to take what side? And all this other stuff that's going to go on. But the news should be interesting. I will do my coffee talk in the morning. I wasn't able to do it this morning. I was working at 5:30 already this morning, so I wasn't able to do my coffee talk at 6. But yep, the big enchilada might have finally went up. We're going to see what all the repercussions of this is going to be. Maybe we'll get a couple days where everybody will cool down. Or maybe, it all depends on the damage that's done too. But see, it's just back and forth, back and forth. Eventually the war is going to come. Eventually it'll come. Just like eventually this country is going to settle its problems that we have amongst each other. It's going to happen. Time will allow, that's going to happen. So this world's going to go at war. Our country's going to go to war with each other. And maybe we'll be able to solve all the problems. So in 20 years, that'd be my great-grandkids that are being born, can be born into a world where people know how to get along, be festive, and not so much hate in the world and stuff. But, the world's a hateful place. You can just come on YouTube and see it. Trump is a very angry, get it right. Angry at what? We're all angry. I'm angry too. That's why I'm on YouTube. I hope Trump never goes away. But see, this is the thing too. He turned into a politician. How come nobody on the Epstein list has been arrested yet? How long did it take Biden to round up people from the January 6th protest? A lot less than 100 days. I'm sick of people in this country that are influential and rich in whatever important position they're in, where they're allowed to just break these incredibly evil people, but they're not allowed to be touched. Why? Do you think you would be able to get away with that? No, you won't. So, Trump turned into a politician. But we'll see what he's going to do about this, if he's going to go hog wild on Iran and stuff. Why not? We're spending over $1 trillion a year on the defense budget. Why not spend $2 trillion a year? Sounds good? Let's see, how many lives will be lost if we spend $2 trillion a year? Can I be a moderator? If yes, I will go thumbs up because I can't hear you. God bless America. Backwoods Bound Outdoors. You got a channel, Backwoods Bound Outdoors? Yeah, I got to figure out how to do the moderator thing. I tell you what, you hit that subscribe and stuff, and I got to work on getting moderators. But I on my channel, I like to have freedom of speech. I would like adults to come to this channel and voice their opinions in a way that's respectful. I got to sit there and click this thing. No, not made for children. And then I have adult children that come on here and just try to ruin everything. But, YouTube can't do nothing about that. See, their moderators and stuff, Google moderators don't see that. But, Google will be in here sometime just erasing other people's stuff. Good point. I don't like YouTube censorship. Yeah. I tell you what, my channel will be getting censored bad. Last week, I was getting, on my live streams, that one live stream, I got almost 11,000 views in 1 hour. 1 hour. Subscribers just ping, 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 for a channel that had less than 200 subscribers when that was happening. It was like nuts. My analytics was like a channel that had 250,000 subscribers. So that just shows that maybe I'm not here just spinning my wheels, that maybe there are crazy people out there just like me that want to hear what I have to say. But, the censorship, this is one thing, nobody wants to hear the truth. All I know is that social media promotes and pushes a lot of stuff that is mental illness, and I'll just say that. When people make money on social media for some of the stuff they do, I can't believe it. I mean, I don't find that entertaining, funny, or anything at all, except it's like, I don't like watching cops. Why? Because it shows the degradation of the human race. I mean, all it is about the worst people you can find. White, black, it don't matter what nationality is. Okay? But some of these TikTok or these social media videos are just like that. I mean, mental illness on display. God, what are they going to do when these people look at that stuff 20 years from now and be like, God, I really acted that way? For money? And then you got these people watching this stuff. But me, I'm supposed to get shadow banned, censored, da-da-da-da-da. Now I got subscribers that I had one that messaged me saying, boy, they're really throttling you down. Yeah, big time. That just shows you how much control that the algorithm has. Okay, now I don't know what I was saying that upset it so bad, because I try to not offend YouTube and its sponsors, the one who pays for the channel. But anyway, maybe one day it'll come back. But it was good. I tell you what. It was a run for a couple days, and I couldn't believe thousands and thousands of views. I mean, that one live stream, I had 3,000 comments. Of course, I couldn't keep up, but but then I do need moderators, so I'm gonna work on that. But anyway, we're talking about Israel and Iran. Anyway, yeah. We've kicked the bucket. We're going to see how crazy things could get. Israel's going to see how strong that Iron Dome is. We'll see if Iran responds by the time we wake up in the morning. But the world's at war, everybody. Now we got Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Iran. We'll be funding. Well, we're funding one, we'll be funding the other one because we give Israel money every year, regardless if they're at war or not. I can't remember how much they get in aid, like $10 billion a year, just normal aid. Maybe it's more than that. But and then all the stuff we've given them, these spending packages they passed, all this war packages. You see how much? See, when you spend money on war, you get war. You spend money on peace and prosperity, you get peace and prosperity. But they'd rather spend it on war. So I hope all these people that are getting their government welfare checks realize that they're going to be building factories where you'll get your check, but you're going to have to work in this factory. Because, we're going to have to sit there and support these wars with food, ammunition, everything they need. And we're going to find out what rationing is all about. If they go to that digital currency, like I say, rationing, they even said during World War II, you had the ration book. If you didn't have a stamp for that, it didn't matter how much money you had. You couldn't get it. Flat out, everybody had to do their part. I mean, I come to find out that macaroni and cheese was a dish that was created during World War II because of rationing. Did you know that? Homemade. That was one product, I guess, that was started out in somebody's kitchen, and then somebody decided to process it, put it in a box, and made a lot of money. But we're going to find out what that's like. Rationing gas. We're not going to be allowed to be a bunch of spoiled Americans anymore that can have everything they want. You would think social media platforms would mirror American freedom. They would make money. See, they're businessmen, right? So you're in a social media platform. You got a social media platform. So you're selling a product, okay, or a service. In order for a business to make money, they have to sell a product or a service that the public wants. So let's say you got, when the Cabbage Patch dolls came out, everybody remember that? That was my age. Crazy Cabbage Patch dolls, right? And you're watching all these social stores that are making a ton of money off Cabbage Patch dolls, but you're going to stand your ground. I don't believe in the Cabbage Patch dolls. I'm not going to sell it. And nobody comes to your store and buys anything. That's what's happening on social media. I mean, YouTube thinks people turn off of YouTube because of the content they're watching. No. One reason that I finally get turned off is because of the commercials. And it gets to the point where, I listen to watch stuff that people don't watch, so YouTube don't put commercials on it. Like YouTube don't put commercials on Gunsmoke radio shows and stuff like that. And when the commercials get so bad, and then they're going to not have a product on there that somebody wants to watch. I realize that not everybody on YouTube wants to watch me, but the ones that do want to watch this content should be able to come to YouTube and watch it. Find a creator that has that and watch it. Freedom of choice. You make money. I mean, the rate my channel was growing, I would have been monetized in 3 weeks. It was nuts. Over 100 hours of watch time a day. 30-some subscribers a day. It doesn't take long to get 1,000 subscribers and 3,000 watch time hours. And they just cut it down to nothing. Picking winners and losers. But anyway, Walter Cronkite, when Iraq first invaded Kuwait back in 1990, August of 1990, he blamed the media for that. He blamed the media for not exposing the story when they knew it was going on and allowing the world not to know what was going on. So they just kind of did it once, okay? But anyway, they've been fighting for thousands of years. These people are never going to get along. I mean, America's turning into the same thing. Oh, he looked at me wrong on the street. I should have the right to kill him. And it's different over there too. I mean, when you're in Israel, they're all surrounded by their enemies, and I guess when you piss your enemies off, it's not a good thing. But they're going to get seriously attacked, right? But anyway, we'll see what the repercussions are for this. I'm going to get off this because I want to do some more research about what's going on, because this is history in the making. Okay? We'll see how bad they got struck, but it was bad. If it was bad, Israel's going to get pounded by all sides. Anyway, I just hope the U.S. stays out of it. God, isn't it so nice that the UN created Israel in 1947? Wasn't that the best thing they ever did? Especially in 2025, and we're still dealing with the aftermath of people not liking what they did. Anyway, so this could be one where you gotta hold on to your seat, but the fun thing I would definitely suggest is going to fill up your gas tank. Anyway, I appreciate everybody being here this evening. If you'd hit the thumbs up and subscribe, if you would, please, and hit the notification, I'd appreciate it. Help the channel grow. I sure would like to get the live streams I had before, but ever since Google was in that live stream, they just chopped it. So I guess, you can't have somebody that the people want to listen to. I don't know what it is. All I know is we live in an upside down world. The world's collapsing, our country's collapsing. You got people that are trying to sound the alarm, like Paul Revere riding through the night on his horse, trying to sound the alarm. What would have happened if the Patriots would have sat there and said, Minutemen, we'll deal with it in a few days. We got other things that are distracting us right now. See, the Paul Reveres, the town criers, they're all being shut up because that interferes with their agenda they're trying to create. The last thing they want is for people to wake up. The last thing they want is for a liberal and a conservative to start talking and maybe agreeing on a few things. Which we all have disagreements, and we all can agree on stuff. I have liberals on this for subscribers that, we don't agree on everything, but we agree on some things, okay? And the things that we agree on are the important things, okay? I don't expect everybody to like me, jeepers cripes. If you're in this world to see how many people can like you, you're probably not going to be happy. I know, I've given up that. Okay, you have a question? What's your question? I have a question. Silva. Nobody's perfect. That's true. But the thing is, you should strive to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. That should be your goal. Doing a good deed for somebody. What I like doing is when I see a older person, they get in line behind me. And a lot of older people, they just have one or two things, and you let them go ahead of you. And they're so appreciative and stuff. But, more good in this world. But we're going to have to deal with this evil. Until these people get it out of their system, get this war out of their system and the destruction that they want to do. We're all going to be stuck in the middle. Just got to do your best to try to avoid the craziness that's going to happen. Now, if you're in a big city like Los Angeles, you're probably like, oh, Israel attacked Iran? That don't matter. They're attacking my block right now. Okay? It'd be hard to worry about Israel and Iran when you got violence on your street. You got war going on in your street. But, country's collapsing and the world's collapsing. All in the war. So I just hope everybody's ready for this. Remember, everybody's been thirsting for this. I always say if they could bring back the gladiators in the arena with the death, people would be thirsting for that. Violence, violence. And we're all going to have a front row seat, everybody, right on our phone. You're going to be able to watch it. And that's what I want to do right now. Get in my front row seat so I can do my coffee talk tomorrow morning. And, when more of it comes out. But it'll be an interesting weekend, huh? Why can't everybody just get along? Remember the days when all we had to do was worry about Monica Lewinsky? Oh. Anyway, I got to mow my lawn, though, finish mowing my lawn tomorrow, so I'll worry about that. But tomorrow morning I'll do the coffee talk thing, and we'll see that what's going on then. But I sure appreciate everybody being here. And share the videos, especially if you see one of my thoughts of the day or one of my shorts you really like, share it. Even if my thoughts of the day, that may rub them the wrong way. They're supposed to get people thinking. So if you can rub somebody the wrong way to get them thinking, whatever it takes, the old cogs in the brain housing group to start spinning. Anyway, so we'll see how much gas is going to be on Monday. And we'll see if how many other countries are involved. Anyway, crazy time. Why are you not answering my question? What was your question? I see I have a question. I don't watch the chat much, to be honest with you. Yeah, Sylvie, ask your question again. I'm here. I'm listening. So I try to answer them. Not the smartest thing in the world, but I don't hear everything. But I didn't get your question. So if you would put it up there again, I will answer it. Because like I say, I want to see what's going on. But anyhow, the thing is, if Russia gets into this, hopefully they stay out. Hopefully their hands are busy with Ukraine. But, how much further are we going to spread ourselves thin? So now we got more likely an active war in the Middle East that we're going to support, an active war in Eastern Europe that we're supporting. Silva, go ahead with your question. Yes, Silva, go ahead. I didn't see the question. I don't know, did she leave? Anyway. But I wish she'd get her question in here because I want to get out, check out what's going on. The newest thing of the day. Anyway, well, don't look like she's still here. Anyway, but tomorrow morning, about 6 or 7 o'clock Mountain Time in the morning, I'm going to have my live stream, and we'll definitely go over this, and then go from there. But it'd probably be best too to maybe do some shopping tomorrow. Not hoarding, but maybe getting a few extra things you might need. I'm sure the gas stations and the stores will be a little bit fuller tomorrow. So anyway, I guess we got a storm coming. We're going to see how bad it is. If it's just going to be a little tropical depression or Category 5. But we'll see what hits our shore. See if it's worse than what's going on now. Everybody have a great night. Appreciate everybody being here. This is Tom. I'm out.